Maximilian Baldman from Conichi.
Good morning, everyone. So before I start telling you more about Conichi and how we revolutionize hotel stays, I want you to think about the last time you stayed at a hotel. The moment you walk through that door, you fill out a registration form, you fill out a city tax form, you handed over a credit card, you paid. Next morning, 8 o'clock, you queued again, you paid, you took your invoice. A really, really long and windy process. Now, if you look at front desks at hotels, essentially they haven't changed for years. Design has slightly changed, but processes are still exactly the same. And that's exactly the problem, especially for corporate travelers who are traveling and staying at hotels a lot. And essentially, the hospitality market is facing a huge issue as well. So not only are, by 2020, 50% of guests going to be Generation Y, Z guests, so travelers and guests who are used to a very innovative experience, but also is hospitality facing a threat through sharing economy. They're facing a threat through the big guys getting bigger, consolidating, and the small guys, the independent, the family-run hotels, having a huge issue. And that's exactly what we're trying to solve at Conichi. With Conichi, we want to create the most seamless hotel stays possible by bringing a technology layer between corporates and hotels to optimize both the in-stay as well as the post-stay processes. Now, if you look at the guest side, guests want to have a personalized experience. They want to have a seamless experience staying at hotels. It should be easy. They don't want to be broken up with the hassle of check-ins and check-outs. Now, this is exactly what we're doing with Conichi. We're creating a mobile check-in, check-out solution which allows you to check in and out of hotels across different properties, so across different chains, both chains and independent hotels, across different geographies, allowing you to use one solution to check in and out of different properties, saving you a lot of time during check-in and check-out. This also facilitates a completely paperless check-in process. So there's no need for you to fill out registration forms, city tax forms, but upon arrival, all your details are shared with the hotel. One of the big problems in corporate travel is paying at the front desk. So those of you who are using virtual credit cards have probably experienced this. You arrive at the front desk and say, I want to pay with my virtual card, or my company's paying, and the hotel says, I have no idea what you're talking about, just give me a credit card. So the issue here is the acceptance of virtual credit cards. We bring the acceptance of VCCs up to 100% by offering a mobile payment solution to hotels, but with one click, they can simply take a payment of that guest and allow for check-in. So there's no need to worry for staff, whether it's a virtual card, a company card, a PayPal account, or a direct billing. Also, and very importantly, we can create a completely paperless checkout process. So there's no need to actually collect the invoice, but travelers can simply be in their room, choose whatever they've consumed from the minibar through an application, Peanuts Coke, for example, spit it onto their private card, and simply leave the hotel, receive the invoice via email. Now, if we look at the corporate travel side, there are a bunch of issues as well. So corporate travel is seeing a shift towards mobile. A large share of bookings actually being conducted on mobile devices, but still, corporates are losing millions and millions and millions through leakage and maverick bookings. Why? Travelers booking outside of their corporate system, essentially because there is no value for travelers to book within the corporate travel program. But corporate travel managers are seeing the opportunity using a mobile solution to optimize the processes. This is where we come in. Conichi is the technology layer which is added on top of the existing corporate travel app to optimize all the hotel stay processes, bringing down cost per trip by around 40 euros, both in process costs as well as fixed costs in regards to OCRing, scanning invoices. But also, do we not only look at the actual savings, but we look at the reduction of maverick bookings, the reduction of leakage in the system. So we're able to bring down maverick bookings by 30%, by allowing travelers to actually have a usage, or by actually enabling them to create an enhanced process by using their corporate travel app. We're giving them back their Friday afternoon. They don't have to sit down Fridays and run through invoicing of hotels. We're in fact meeting the expectations of young, innovative travelers. So especially our consulting companies have 80% Generation Y, Z travelers, which are used to a mobile solution, and we're bringing exactly this to corporate travel apps. And the beauty about all of this is, Conichi is not an application. Conichi is a technology layer. It's an SDK, a software development kit, which can be integrated into different corporate travel apps, allowing essentially every corporate travel app out there to benefit from our functionalities. Now, in the course of the past 3 years, our team and I, we've been trying to integrate into all different systems in order to create this landscape, this Conichi ecosystem, to on the one side integrate into hotel property management systems. So we have real two-way integrations into all the big PMS systems, Oracle, Infor, Hetros, Protel. We integrate into door lock systems on the hotel side, into payment systems. And on the corporate side, we integrate into travel apps, into OTA applications like HRS, into TMC apps like Amadeus, like CWT, like Tourist Mobile, like Roadmap. We're trying to make it easy and simple for travelers to enhance the feature set of the existing app. Now, one of the projects we've done in Germany, big Germany 30 company, we were able to bring down cost per trip by around 40 euros, drastically increasing the traveler satisfaction. And we're doing this for global corporates and local corporates all around the world. A bit of data, we have around 60,000 smart hotel rooms, processing around 100 check-ins per hotel per month, and have a user reach of plus 25 million users through the integrations with our different partners. We charge €1 to €1.50 per room per month, and we charge 10 to 20 cents per trip on the corporate side, so a low and flexible pricing model. Our team has profound knowledge in the hospitality and travel space. We're 70 people based in Berlin, Belgrade, and Shanghai, all with the same vision of creating this seamless experience, making it really, really easy for travelers to stay at a hotel, optimizing both the in-stay and the post-stay process.
Thank you very much, Maximilian. Into the Dragon's Den. Dragons, what do you think?
I mean, it was confusing. I mean, I'm not sure. Are you a tool for TMCs? Are you a feature for hotels? Or not exactly sure what your focus is.
So, in order to bridge these processes between hotels and travelers, you need to cover both sides. You need to integrate on the hotel side into property management systems. So we actually supply an application, a web app, an iPad app, and PMS integration to hotels. And on the other side, integrate into TMC and travel apps to bridge this gap between the two.
So, but for that to work, you mean you have to identify and sell individual hotels, because if you get a deal with a brand, it's just a hunting license, right? So you have to, at the property level, you have to persuade them that there's something of value. Meanwhile, you're telling all your corporate clients, your TMCs and others, that all that inventory is coming. So how do you deal with that chicken and egg problem from a sales perspective? I mean, it seems like it's a low-hanging fruit thing, right? You're going to get early traction, and then you're just going to bump up against a brick wall.
So that's the beauty. We're turning exactly that around. So what we're doing is we're selling to corporates. So we're looking at a corporate hotel portfolio. We know exactly what their corporate hotels are, and we approach those hotels step by step by step together with our corporate partner. That allows us to bridge this chicken egg problem and steal volume.
You said Conichi is an SDK, so if that's the case, how easy is it for you to be disrupted even before you're properly established?
So I think there's a lot of complexity in regards to developing an SDK, which can actually be integrated into both property management systems and TMC apps. So really what we've seen is we've raised the bar, especially on the hotel side, of how to actually integrate with a real two-way integration. So by the way, we're not talking about CSV uploads and downloads, we're talking about real integrations. So there's a big complexity to that, and that's what we've been spending the course of the past 3 years on. But the SDK essentially allows us to create this flexibility of integrating into a bunch of different TMC and OTA apps.
Okay, thanks.
You mentioned that you do all of that without losing the personal touch. How does the personal touch remain in the app?
Yeah. So Conichi, the name is actually derived from Konnichiwa, the possibility to say hello to guests. And this is really sort of where our idea comes from. We want to enhance the personal interaction, because if you think about your hotel stay, and you go there and you say, hey, my name is Jochen, and they start looking for Jochen and say, sorry, we can't find you. Then you spell your surname, and they start typing it into the computer. That's not a personal process. But if we can tell them in real time who that traveler is and actually share your preferences, then it enhances the entire experience at the property rather than being worried about administrative processes of checking and check out.
To Chris's point a little bit, I mean, you're all sounding incredibly positive. What keeps you awake at night, though?
Well, I think what keeps me awake is it's generally all our corporates. So we work with global Fortune companies, work with Germany 30 companies. Travel is always a global thing. So travel is usually not focused on just a national, just a national location. So we have to scale on a global level, which of course brings complexity in regards to organizational scale, which brings complexity in regards to legal regulations. That's really sort of what we're bridging now, and what we're focused on now.
Is that hard?
Absolutely. I mean, global scale is always difficult. But at the same time, the beauty is, especially with the corporations we have with chains, it allows us to scale fast on a global level.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Maximilian.
Thank you.
Well done.